So one of the performances that I remember the most was when I was Cinderella. It was because they choreographed it on me and another girl who was also sharing the role. Ballet is something that's really hard. If you're thinking about on stage these really gorgeous men or women who just make everything look so effortless, it's really not effortless. After you perform, it's not that you go home as a dancer and sleep in and eat a bunch of Cheetos or something. We go back in the studio the next day and we're working our butts off again. I would come home sometimes at night and have my feet completely ripped up from the shoes because you wear them for several hours a day. Especially during Tech Week, which is right before a performance, I would be wearing the shoes for 5 or 6 hours more. I started dancing when I was 5, and that was just sort of like kids' ballet classes, like skipping and things like that. My sister was in dance, so that's the only reason I started dance, was because I had to do everything kind of just like her. I find it just fascinating how you can make your body work so precisely. And I also find that even though it's so structured, there's an enormous amount of freedom. And when you can go on stage and become a character, that's just the most fun thing. As far as dancing myself, I like it now as more of a hobby, whereas before it was just like my life. But I'm not ruling out performing again or anything like that. I'd love to be in the Nutcracker again or some other show. I did go to summer intensives, so I did 2 summers at the Atlanta Ballet, training there for 6 hours a day for 5 weeks, and I did 1 summer at the Shanghai Ballet in China. And it made me realize that ballet is one of those things that crosses cultural barriers. My ballet teachers in China, they didn't really speak any English, but all the steps were in French. And so even though we didn't speak the same language, we could still speak through the language of dance. In ballet, I think it's also true in life, you're gonna screw up. It's not a place where you're gonna be perfect all the time. It's given me a lot of drive. I don't want to call it perfectionism because I know I'm not perfect, ever. In fact, every movement you do could be better than what it is. Don't be ashamed of that, but just use it to get better. So be really focused on those things and not give up. Like, oh, because I didn't get something today, I'm never gonna get it. No, if you don't get something today, that means you need to try it in a different way. Tweak things and keep going, keep working. Even the best dancers always have something to improve. You know, you've seen these people, gorgeous people like Julie Kent in American Ballet Theater, and all over the place they just look stunning and perfect. Even they come back and are like, okay, what do I do to improve for the next show? If you get comfortable being the best in ballet, you won't stay there for very long. You always have to keep pushing yourself and improving.